Hi everybody, welcome to the So Essential vlog. I hope you're well. I'm well because I'm going to talk to you today about one of my favourite things, which is new fabrics. So I'm going to be sharing with you a selection of lovely fabrics that we've recently added to the site. I'll talk you through pattern suggestions for things that I think would pair really well with them. I'll also give you probably a few sewing tips and techniques as well. All of the patterns and fabrics I mention are available on our site, and the link to our site is below. And also our blog link will be below as well, so if I mention any tutorials or tips that we've shared on the blog, the link to that is below. As always, if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe as well. So first things first, I want to share with you some delicious Scuba fabrics that we've added to the site. And just as a bit of a foreword really, I thought it was worth mentioning, I had a conversation with one of the girls in the office yesterday about Scuba, and both of us said that before we used it and before we wore it, we weren't sure if we would like it, but it was one of those things that once we did sew with it and once we did wear it, we were so glad that we tried it. It's a fantastic fabric to work with. It's in between, it's got stretch, so it is classed as a stretch fabric, but it hasn't got as much stretch as some of the jerseys. So I'll just give you an example here of this one. I mean, obviously it does vary from Scuba to Scuba, but generally they are a lot more stable than a normal jersey fabric. There's a good amount of stretch there, but it is a more stable fabric. And they're just absolutely lovely to work with. So what I would recommend is that you use a ballpoint or a stretch needle and try both, because I've had different results with different Scuba fabrics. So I would recommend trying both and seeing which one gets you the best results. But because it's got that bit of stretch, it's good for fitting and achieving a really good fit, but because it's more stable, it's kind of almost like sewing, it's almost more like sewing with a woven than a jersey. It's easier to sort of manage and keep under control in your sewing machine, which is nice. Another great thing about it is you don't have to finish your edges, you don't have to finish your raw edges, because it just doesn't fray. It's easy to cut out, you know, with some jersey fabrics that are really sort of stretchy and move a lot, it can be quite difficult to get your selvages lined up when you're cutting out. You don't have that issue with Scuba. It's dead easy, really well behaved, and also you can get some lovely different effects with it. So if you make a very fitted garment, it's good for fitting because it has got that stretch, so it'll kind of give you a bit of play there. But also it's great for things like circle skirts. A lot of people like making your tops with a peplum because it's got a bit more sort of structure and body to it than a normal jersey. It'll just give you a more dramatic effect with those sorts of garments. So there is so much fun to be had with this wonderful fabric. I can't recommend it highly enough. So this first one that I was going to show you has got this black background with the stunning electric blue flowers and then little dots of fuchsia pink and a little bit of red in it as well. I just thought it was so unusual and so dramatic and pretty. And this Scuba, you know, it's not a massively sort of heavyweight one. It's still got a bit of drape and movement to it, so it's not a very stiff fabric. So you can see that there hopefully on the video, but I just thought that was absolutely glorious. And what I'm going to do is just show you the Scubas and then I'll talk you through the patterns that I've picked out for them, because I thought rather than allocate a pattern to each one, I would just give you some suggestions of patterns that I think would work well with Scuba. So the next Scuba fabric I'm going to show you is this delightful number here. Again, lovely dramatic print on this one. So it's a black background with like a creamy coloured floral design on it, and then there's little bits of burnt orange and brown, which have been incredibly popular this year. Very fashionable, and again, you know, you can see the drape and the movement on that there as well, similar to the last one in terms of the weight. So that's that one. And the next one I wanted to share with you was this gorgeous one, and this reminds me, in fact, my husband actually asked me the other day if it was, I used a John Caldor crepe fabric to make a lovely dress last year, and it was a very similar design and colourway to this, and everybody absolutely loved it. It flew off the shelves, that fabric did, and we couldn't get any more, which was really sad. But now we've got a Scuba that's quite similar. It's got it's like a mustardy coloured background, and then it's got black and cream flowers on it, and I'm just holding it and draping it there for you so you can see the movement again. So that's a lovely one. And then finally, it has been big this year, animal print, but to be honest, I love it all the time. It's just one of my favourite prints. And if I'm really honest as well, it's been on the catwalks every year for as long as I can remember, and as long as I've been doing this job and writing trend reports and that sort of thing. I just don't think you can go wrong with a bit of animal print myself. So yeah, we've got this one here, which I will try and drape for you. There you go, so you can see that and see how that behaves. So they're all very similar in weight, and I'll just show you the amount of stretch again. I think I've shown you that. I showed you on the blue one, but there is, you can see the stretch there. But as I say, it's just not as, it's much better behaved than a normal jersey fabric. It's much easier to work with, in my opinion. So they're the Scubas, and the patterns that I thought I would suggest for those, I decided to just pick a range of quite different patterns. So the first one is McCall 6886. This is a fantastic classic shift dress style pattern. It's been incredibly popular. I know for so many people it's a tried and tested pattern. There's various different views. There's actually 6 views on this pattern, so you've got loads of different looks that you can create. One is just a simple crew neck shift dress with short sleeves. There's a version of that, which is knee length, sorry. There's a version of that with long sleeves. There's a sleeveless version. And then you've got 3 midi length versions, sleeveless, short sleeved and long sleeved again. There's also a V-neck option as well. So loads of opportunity to have a play around. And I shared a Sew the Look picture recently of a really famous Emily Blunt. I wasn't going to be able to remember who that was then, but Emily Blunt at a premiere wearing a very simple dress like this, the midi length long sleeved one, and it just looked absolutely stunning. So I thought any of the fabrics could work really well in that, because they're quite bold prints. I think just a very simple dress with very simple lines would work really well. Also, the Cashmerette Rivermont dress and top pattern I thought would be a really good option. If you haven't discovered Cashmerette patterns yet, if you are a lady with a fuller bust, these patterns are made for women with cup sizes C to H, so you've not got to worry about doing that full bust adjustment and probably all the fitting issues you might have in that area. These patterns are designed for people with a fuller bust, and just with curves in mind, really. So the Rivermont dress and top, again, it's a very simple shift dress pattern, knee length, and then the top has got a little peplum on it. And they've actually used Scuba on the pattern packet, I believe, because we've actually got one of the ones that they've used on the packet in stock. So you can just see how that works with those garments there. The next one I chose was Simplicity 8330, and this is a dress I made in Scuba and I absolutely adore and love, and I do want to make it again. I must get round to it because it was just an absolute pleasure of a project. It was supposed to have a zip in the back, and I omitted that because I was making it in Scuba, and instead I just had a little slash down the back and a little button and loop at the top, or 2 buttons and loops. But it's an evening dress, it's a high neck, cut away here at the arms because it's like a halter neck. Very classic, simple fitted dress, and then there's options for maxi length and a fishtail option, but it worked brilliantly in the Scuba. Now it is a pattern for woven fabrics, this one, but that's the other thing, is you can, with Scuba, I think you can use woven patterns and stretch patterns, you just have to be mindful of the sizing as you're making it, and you have to be prepared to experiment a little bit. So with this dress, for example, I cut a size 12, but I ended up sizing down to an 8 because of the stretch. So, but I just made the 12 up, tried it on, and I was just prepared to experiment a little bit. Another thing that I know some people do as well is measure the pattern piece and then measure that amount of fabric and try it across their body and see how that will fit. So if you're prepared to have a play around, you can, you know, use these fabrics sometimes for woven patterns as well. And then finally, I chose McCall 7313, and this is another great dress pattern. So it's this one I chose because it gives you an example of a flared skirt with the Scuba. So it's a very simple, it's like a scoop neck dress with a waist seam, and then you've got options for sleeveless, short sleeved, and 3/4 and full length sleeves, I believe. And it's just a very simple classic dress shape, but again, I think that would work really well in the Scuba, and you can get a really nice effect with that fuller skirt with the Scuba as well. I've seen some lovely makes out there where people have done that. So that's the Scuba. So hopefully I've inspired you a little bit with those lovely fabrics. Then I wanted to show you a lovely ponte that we've got in stock. So this one is just gorgeous. I really want to get around to making something with this. So if you look at the wrong side, even the wrong side's really pretty. It's got lovely speckles of silver on a black background, and then on the right side it's a royal blue, and you can just see those little speckles of silver coming through. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but it is just so pretty, and it's like an abstract design on there, and it's the blue fabric is the blue areas of the fabric are sort of raised above the black areas of the fabric, so it feels like an embossed design almost. I just think that is a glorious fabric. I think probably some people might even use the wrong side if they wanted a bit of sparkle, or you could make something reversible perhaps with that as well. It, you know, depends on your own personal opinion, but the pattern I would want to make with this fabric is the Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweater, which is a relatively new pattern from Megan Nielsen, and there is an option that I think would work really well. There's several different options with like there's one with a little tie at the front, and there's different options for hem lengths and cuffs and that sort of thing, but the one I would want to make in this particular fabric is there's a lovely funnel neck version, and I just think it would work so well with this paired with one of my staple wardrobe items, black skinny jeans or a black skirt and black tights and boots. I think it would look fabulous. So fingers crossed guys that I get round to making that as well, and I will share it with you if I do. And then another one that I really want to make something with is this glorious black jersey with this amazing metallic gold print on it. I just think this is just so lovely. I love it. So sorry, I will apologise. Do get a bit excited on these fabric videos, but you just have to accept that, I suppose. But you can see the drape and the movement there. This one is quite stretchy, so I'll just show you how much stretch it has got. So you can see there is a fairly good amount of stretch there on this one. It's got quite a bit of give, and it is just the one way it stretches, well, two-way stretch they call it, don't they, rather than so it stretches across but not down. And the pattern I would be tempted to make with this is a Jarlee pattern, which I've just made in another fabric, and it's 3883. It's called the Lizette skirt pattern. So it's an option, there's options for pencil length skirts and mini skirts, and it's just a simple pull on tube skirt sort of pattern, but there are options for a waistband and panelling and what have you, but I would just go for a simple plain pull-on skirt or mini skirt in this, and I think paired with a black jumper I think it would look lovely. I think it would be a really nice outfit for So if you go into the pub or somewhere and you don't want to get really dressed up, but you don't want to just look like you're kind of chilling around the house on a Saturday either, it's quite a difficult look to pull off. And I think if you can add just a little bit of sparkle to your outfit but still wear a jumper and tights and boots, you know, you can feel not too overdressed but still have a little bit of sparkle in your outfit. And if I was making that skirt in this fabric, I would line it with our stretch lining fabric as well. Just because it could do with that for a skirt, I think, but you could obviously make tops and dresses with that fabric as well. And then finally I wanted to show these delightful jerseys to you. So these are so sparkly, they're just beautiful. So this is a black one and it's just got this lovely shimmery sparkle to it. It's a silver sparkle all the way through it. You can see it's a very fluid fabric, it's got lots of movement, lots of drape, perfect for if you need something to just for partying, if you wanted to make a lovely party dress, or if you go on cruises or to fancy places on holiday, this could be ideal for you. I'm just trying to find a single layer of it because I just like to show you how a single layer behaves as well. So let's just show you that. So that, there you go, there's a single layer of it. This one is quite stretchy, it's got a really good amount of stretch in it, a lot of give in it. It's only one way, again, the stretches, but yeah, there is a lot of stretch there. So that's the black one with the silver sparkles, and then we've also got a silver and grey one as well, and this one's just so pretty. Oh, so again, this is ideal, as I say, for, you know, that party wear, or if you've got cruises or holidays or that sort of thing where you want to feel just a bit more glitzy. This would be ideal. So again, very fluid, lots of movement and drape in this fabric. And let's just have a look at the stretch for you as well. So again, a good amount of stretch, probably not quite as stretchy as the black one. And there's a little bit of give in the other direction as well. So yeah, just to give you an idea of that. But it is really shimmery and sparkly and super, super pretty. So for these two fabrics, I thought, you know, you could go all out and make yourself a dress and have a, you know, when you've got those evening occasions and you want to feel really dressy. And for that, I've suggested Burda 6910, which is a fitted jersey dress, and it's got ruching at the waist, which I thought would work really well with the sparkles and really highlight the sparkles on the fabric nicely. But there's also options just for a simple slash neck top with long sleeves and a short sleeve t-shirt with the ruching at the side. All of them have got the ruching actually. And I just thought, you know, these fabrics, yes, you can go all out and go for a party dress, but also sometimes it's nice to just, like I was saying about the fabric with the gold flowers on, sometimes it's nice just to have a sparkly top to wear. And, you know, I've seen people all the time with black skinny jeans or trousers of some description and a sparkly top, and it's just a nice way to lift and elevate that outfit and make you feel special and make you feel like you're going out without feeling incredibly overdressed. So I thought there's some nice options there, you know, with a little jacket over, if you had a black jacket over this, for example, I just think it would look lovely and just give you, yeah, that little special feel to your outfit. I also looked at Burda 6848. So again, this is a very fitted knit dress with long sleeves, no ruching this time, so just very simple. And then there's also options for a V-neck top and a crossover top as well. And again, that crossover top has got a little bit of ruching on it, so I think that would work really well with the sparkly fabric. So lots of options there to give those fun, super fun fabrics a go. And then finally, the last fabric I want to show you is this lovely jersey fabric, which is a grey slub effect jersey fabric, and it's a sweater weight. I'll just try and get a single layer to show you. So there you go, there's a single layer to show you how that fabric hangs and moves and drapes. It's a good weight. It's definitely a sweater weight. There's a good amount of stretch in that as well. Let's just test the other way. A little bit of give the other way, but the majority of stretch is across the width. So this fabric I think is just ideal for, we've got loads of lovely Jarly patterns on the website, loads of cardigan patterns, and I thought, you know, if you made a simple cardigan, there's some really innovative cardigan patterns by Jarly that are really easy to make as well. There's one called the Helene cardigan, and I just think if you made them up in this, it would be one of those staple items in your wardrobe you'd wear again and again and again. I know I always have a grey cardigan in my wardrobe because it goes with everything and it's so easy to chuck on. But I also thought it would make a really nice sweat top, and I spotted a Butterick one the other day. It's part of their Fast and Easy range, and it is 6132. There's several options with this pattern. There's 3 sweat top options and then a sleeveless top option as well. And the top that I thought would work really well in it is View A, which is a simple, it's not a slash neck, it's not a boat neck, it's sort of in between, I guess. It's got a little collar on it. And other than that, it's just very, very simple, and I thought that would work really well with this fabric. And as I say, it would just be one of those staple items. It's a lovely quality fabric, so I think if you made something in that, I think it would just be in your wardrobe for years to come. And I think from me today, that's it. So quite a lot there to be thinking about. There are always new fabric vlogs up and coming, so stay tuned for those. If you like what you see today, please like and subscribe. Remember, the links to all of our sites are below, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.